Hey everyone. Okay, so this is another video based on suggestions from one of the choices in the poll that I put up in my community tab on my channel about videos that you would like to see, discussions and things like that. 2 Alpha Solutions, Jared, good stuff, brother. Good job too on the Seer Challenge, hosted by Grunt Proof. Go check out that series. Jared is one of the contestants. His channel and training group, 2 Alpha Solutions. He's a firearm instructor. He had the suggestion to show or talk about what you do for everyday preparedness. That's more realistic than Red Dawn scenarios, which I agree. He plans on doing some videos and stuff as well. You keep you and your family safe in the event of local emergencies. So, I have and it's in a playlist now, logistics and discussions, but the PACE plan series, that's one part of daily local emergency preparedness, is understanding routes, planning routes, emergency routes, and things like that in the event of things like a major storm, natural disaster, other kinds of emergencies where you need to relocate from one point to another, or go into an area to get somebody out. Something happens at your school, you have to get your kid, you know, a number of situations. I don't have kids, so that doesn't really factor for me. Not that I wouldn't step up with my community to help protect kids. Obviously I would, in whatever kind of situation can also be applicable. But everyday preparedness stuff. So in part 3 of the PACE Plan series, I talk about items you should have in your vehicle. And that crosses over into your everyday carry stuff and everything like that. So, you know, I have my CCW and everything, so I have a pistol with spare magazine. I carry a knife, a folding knife, usually a CRKT, double lock, like M16 Carson design type knife, folding knife, really nice blades, good folding knives. Carry my firearm. Obviously you have your phone on you and all those kinds of assets. And then just some other things. Whether it's a useful little ad hoc tools like the P38 can opener, like I've talked about, having that on your keychain, that is a useful tool. Even something like, and again, depending on the legality, something like a ZAC tool for handcuffs and other things. Even for EDC, if you wear covert pants, you could even have the opportunity to have lockpicks, lockpick kits, and I've done a video on picking locks before. Things like that, you know, carrying knives, whatever it may be. Also, other items. A safety item is a good one, a glass breaker of some kind on your keychain or on your person for vehicles. There are the spring-loaded glass breakers with like a steel or tungsten tip on them to break car windows. I have a couple of those. Also, bracelets like this that have a bearing, basically a grooved bearing on them. This is the same material that's used in the core of armor-piercing bullets. You can use this, stretch it, boom, you can break glass with it. I get these from SAP Gear, Stately Asset Protection, SAP Gear. Items like that are good to have and to wear, again, because it's just a bracelet, but it has a useful application for it apart from the other tools that you have on your person. If you carry a multi-tool, cool. I usually just carry a knife, and then I got my P38 and stuff. Usually don't have too much of a need for a multi-tool, but I have one in my vehicle at all times, as well as medical. I have a full TCCC CLS bag in my truck at all times. Always having something accessible. If I'm carrying a bag or a backpack, I have medical gear in there. Everything from a boo-boo kit to chest seals and tourniquets and all that stuff. Something else. Get AED and CPR training, okay? To whatever degree that is, whether you want to go advanced with it or not, get AED and CPR certification and training, okay? That's a big one. I was just in the grocery store like a couple of weeks ago, and an elderly lady in the parking lot fell. She broke her hip. She hit her head. Had my TCCC CLS bag in my truck. Went and grabbed it. I had a SAM splint in there, so I made a cradle to help support her head and her neck. I tried to keep her, you know, immobilized. You know, I told her not to move and stuff. Trying to talk to her. asking her questions. Obviously, not all there because she did have a head injury as well, apart from falling and breaking her hip. The fire department came pretty quick, which was great. That was great to see. But because I was right there, and everybody is their first and last line of defense and their first responder out in the real world, because everything else is reactive and a response force. Having that kind of training, having some advanced kind of medical training to include CPR and AED is really important. That story really didn't apply for CPR and AED, but that's really good to have because people have heart attacks all the time. People have all kinds of complications that happen all the time out in the real world, and it's the same for getting training to understand how to help someone when they're choking on something, like with kids, all that kind of stuff. Medical is one of the biggest ones. It really is. Apart from that, having tools on your person, firearms, knives, multi-tools, things like that, all various other things, whatever you want, and are comfortable with carrying, to have on you to be able to assist you in an emergency. A big one is having stuff in your vehicle because you're going to be in that a lot. Obviously, I have that stuff at home too, but when you're out and about, that's a big one is going to be medical, really for your day-to-day, apart from getting proper training with your firearms and everything else for reacting to a situation and stopping a threat. Also applies for hand-to-hand combatives in prior video that I talked about. So a wide range of things. Everyday, yeah, that's the everyday preparedness stuff really in a nutshell, man. And that's what I say for people, have stuff in your vehicle, have tools in your vehicle, have tools on your person, have training, knowledge, and skills to be able to assist and help in an emergency, both for yourself and your family, but others as well. That's a big part of it. And then, network, community, mutual aid, another big thing. Have that group of people together to be able to, work together and respond to situations and help each other out. That's what community is about. I'm just thinking here, really anything else. As far as at home and the homestead, trying to target harden your home as much as you can. I still rent. I'm in an apartment now, so there's different applicability there than for somebody who owns a home, which I'm working towards. But with that, everyone in your household obviously trained on weapons and things like that. I've just having that capability and the strategic placement and application of different tools in your home as well. Not just firearms either, other things too. But firearms are a big one, obviously, for home defense and things like that. In an emergency, say a natural disaster, and you have to implement your PACE plan and get out, make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. So have some medications together that you can grab. Have your I Love Me book with all of your insurance information, your passport, all your vital documentation, healthcare information, like everything, birth certificates, like all that stuff. Have it together in a portfolio that you can grab or you have in your go bag as well. And that's apart from medications that you may need and things like that. And then what you have in your vehicle. Okay? So having a go bag set up is smart. Especially if you live in an area like hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding, things like that, wildfires, all that stuff. You got to plan for that stuff. And that's one of the biggest things, and I hash it all the time, people have to plan for more than parachutes in the sky. You have to plan for your local disaster emergencies and other situations like that. Even just other risks. No matter how much you try to mitigate them, like a house fire, you have to plan for that. So you have to have your ducks in a row and be able to grab some things and get the hell out safely. So that's another part of it. So just having your ducks in a row, having your vital documentation together that you need, medications, all that stuff, in a bag along with maybe some food and water, change of clothes or two, emergency blankets, things like that, but also having the tools in your vehicle and just your everyday carry tools and everything too. So kind of bounce around a little bit, but hopefully that kind of covers that a little bit. It should make sense for a lot of people, but some of these things, people don't think about, or they want to only think about certain other things and focus on other stuff, but that's not the case. You have to, there's always something to have a plan and prepare for and train for. So, all that stuff across the board. AED, CPR, Medical, that's a big one. It's a big one. Proper tools, having the right tools, and a bunch of tools, available to you on your person in your vehicle. Emergency planning, pace route planning. Yeah, just have your ducks in a row, and just work towards having everything organized and squared away, so that it isn't chaos when something does happen. Mentality is a big part of it too. So you have to condition yourself a little bit, but that comes with time and adaptability. So yeah, that's about it there. Hopefully that's suggested as far as a discussion with this kind of thing. Yeah, so I appreciate you, brother, and thank you everyone else for watching. More videos coming soon. Metal up. Out.